In a high-end coffee shop in Manhattan's financial district during early morning, Emma was having a project discussion with David, a venture capital fund representative. Sunlight streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows as Emma explained her fintech innovation proposal in detail.
Our developed algorithm can predict minute market fluctuations with 35% higher accuracy than existing systems.
David showed an appreciative expression.
Indeed, very innovative, especially in the current market environment.
Emma's phone suddenly started vibrating frantically with dozens of push notifications coming in succession. She politely apologized to David and picked up her phone to check. Famous financial analysts suspected of collusion and fraud. New suspicions arise in Brad case of Reynolds Group. Emma's heart sank. David's expression had already subtly changed as he quickly browsed the news on his phone. Emma saw more explosive headlines. Emma's improper relationship with tech tycoon Jack exposed. Famous analyst accused of framing superior.
Miss Emma, I'm afraid we need to reassess this cooperation. You know our fund has high reputation requirements for partners.
These are all malicious rumors, I can explain.
No need to explain.
David stood up to leave.
We can talk again after these issues are resolved.
Emma sat in her place, looking at the screen full of negative news, her fingers trembling slightly. At this moment, a social media update from Olivia caught her eye.
The truth will always come to light. Some people's disguises will eventually be exposed.
Emma quickly dialed Jack's number, but it went to voicemail. She then tried to contact Sarah, but no one answered either. As she walked out of the coffee shop, Emma noticed the strange looks from passers-by. She heard people whispering, "That's her, that analyst from Reynolds Group." Emma quickly walked toward the office building. When passing through the lobby, the usually friendly security guard turned away, pretending not to see her. In the elevator, two young interns immediately stopped talking when they saw her. Upon reaching the office floor, Emma just happened to see Olivia and a well-dressed middle-aged man walking out of the conference room. She recognized the man as Marcus, the newly appointed investment bank director.
The timing is perfect.
Marcus said softly to Olivia.
What Reynolds lacks most right now is market confidence.
Brad has laid the best foundation for us, now we just need to.
They saw Emma and immediately stopped talking. Marcus gave Emma a meaningful look.
Good morning, Miss Emma. Seems like your social media is quite busy today.
Mr. Marcus, rumors are just rumors.
Oh,
Marcus showed a meaningful smile.
but the market often believes what it wants to believe. That's the rule of Wall Street, isn't it?
Emma walked into her office and immediately received an email from Human Resources requesting her to attend an emergency inquiry meeting in the afternoon. More financial news website notifications popped up on her computer screen, almost all reporting on her connection to the Brad case. Just as Emma was deep in thought, she received an encrypted message.
Come to Gallery 1869 immediately. There's important information. S.
Emma knew this was the private gallery where Sarah often met important clients. Emma grabbed her bag and quickly left the office. As she left, she heard Olivia discussing with the PR department.
Yes, release the statement like this, indicating that the company will cooperate with the investigation.
Gallery 1869 was located in a classical building in the Chelsea district. When Emma walked into the gallery, Sarah was observing an abstract painting.
You came faster than I expected.
Sarah said without turning around.
Seems you realize the severity of the situation.
What's going on?
Emma asked directly.
Why did all the media suddenly?
Because someone is controlling the entire narrative behind the scenes.
Sarah turned around.
Come, let me show you something.
Sarah opened a tablet computer and displayed a series of fund flow charts.
These are the advertising placement data from major financial media outlets over the past 48 hours. Notice the flow of funds from this offshore company.
Emma carefully observed the data.
These media's negative news, they were all bought off?
Not just bought off.
Sarah said.
This is a carefully planned sniper attack. Marcus wants to launch an acquisition when Reynolds is at its weakest, and you are the obstacle he must remove.
Because I discovered the data fraud?
No,
Sarah's voice became grave.
it's because you possess core technology that could threaten him. Your algorithm for predicting market fluctuations is exactly what they want.
So Brad's case.
It's just the beginning.
Sarah said.
Marcus has been plotting behind the scenes. Brad's downfall gave him the perfect opportunity. Now he wants to use these negative news to completely destroy your credibility, then acquire Reynolds as his savior.
But we have no evidence.
No, we do.
Sarah took out an encrypted USB drive.
This contains all of Marcus's overseas transaction records for the past 5 years. He's been laundering money through shell companies, preparing for this acquisition.
How did you?
This world is more complex than you imagine.
Sarah smiled mysteriously.
Jack isn't the only powerful ally.
Just then, Emma's phone rang with a message from Jack.
Come to the financial data center. I have something to show you.
Go.
Sarah said.
Remember, on Wall Street, truth is never the most important thing. What's important is how you use the truth.
Emma left the gallery with the USB drive, her mind racing with thoughts. She recalled Marcus's meaningful look, Olivia's smug expression, and those colleagues who suddenly avoided her. The financial data center was located on the top floor of a high-tech building. When Emma walked in, Jack was operating a massive data screen.
Just in time.
Jack said without turning around.
I found something interesting.
The data screen displayed complex fund flow charts. Jack pointed to one of the lines and said,
Look here, Marcus's shell companies have been acquiring large amounts of Reynolds stock over the past 3 months, but they used a very clever way to hide the real buyer's identity.
Emma carefully observed the data.
These transactions were all completed through offshore accounts. No wonder no one noticed anything unusual.
But they overlooked one thing.
Jack pulled up another set of data.
The timing of these transactions highly coincides with certain large trades in the Asian market.
You mean?
That's right.
Jack said gravely.
Marcus isn't just trying to acquire Reynolds, he's also setting up a bigger financial scam in the Asian market. Tomorrow's Asian Investment Summit is when he plans to close his net.
Emma and Jack worked late into the night at the data center, analyzing every suspicious transaction by Marcus. The data streams on the large screen continuously updated, showing the complex network of funds.
Look at this pattern.
Emma pointed to a set of data.
Every time Marcus's shell companies complete an acquisition, there's a corresponding large fund transfer in the Asian market.
And all these funds eventually flow to this account.
Jack added.
A mysterious company registered in the Cayman Islands.
Emma continued analyzing.
If my calculations are correct, Marcus has secretly gained control of nearly 15% of Reynolds shares, adding his own shareholding.
Once he announces the acquisition plan at the Asian Investment Summit, the stock price will surely surge.
Jack said.
Then he can cash out using the price difference and then
Escape with the money.
Emma finished the sentence.
No wonder he's so eager to destroy my reputation. He needs to complete the acquisition before everything is exposed.
Jack suddenly received a phone call and walked aside to answer it. Emma continued studying the data when she suddenly discovered an anomaly.
Jack, look at this.
She pulled up a new set of data.
Marcus's funding source, these numbers, I feel like I've seen them somewhere before.
Jack finished the call and came back.
what numbers?
Just this pattern of fund transfers.
Emma typed rapidly on the keyboard.
If I remember correctly, yes, this is it.
The screen displayed an encrypted file. Emma continued.
These are some key pieces of evidence from Brad's case that no one noticed at the time, but now looking at it.
Marcus was the real mastermind behind Brad, using Brad to transfer funds in preparation for this acquisition.
So that's why he's in such a hurry to smear me.
Emma suddenly realized.
Because I unknowingly had evidence against him.
But now we have proof.
Jack said.
The question is, how to expose the truth before he completes the acquisition.
Tomorrow morning at 9 is the Asian Investment Summit.
Emma looked at the time.
Marcus will definitely announce his acquisition plans there.
There will be investors and media from around the world there.
Jack pondered.
It's a perfect stage for exposure.
But we need more evidence.
Emma said.
This data alone isn't enough.
Jack took out his phone.
Let me make a call.
He walked to the window and spoke in a language Emma couldn't understand. 10 minutes later, Jack returned and said,
I've contacted some friends in Asia. They'll provide some records of Marcus's transactions there.
Emma looked at him curiously.
You too.
Some things can't be said right now,
Jack interrupted.
but I promise, after everything is over, you'll know the truth.
They continued working until dawn, organizing evidence, verifying data, preparing presentations. Emma's phone was still receiving negative news notifications, but she no longer paid attention to them.
It's done.
Emma looked at the completed presentation and said,
Get some rest.
Jack said.
Tomorrow will be a fierce battle.
Emma gathered her things preparing to leave, suddenly remembering something.
Jack, if we fail tomorrow.
We won't fail,
Jack said firmly.
because we have something Marcus will never have.
What?
Truth
Jack said.
and courage.
The Asian Investment Summit venue was packed, with financial elites from around the world in attendance. Emma sat in the back row, tightly gripping the tablet containing the evidence. In the front row, Marcus was chatting amicably with several Asian investors, while Olivia stood beside him, occasionally smiling gracefully. The summit host announced the beginning.
Now let's welcome Mr. Marcus, Strategic Investment Advisor of Reynolds Group, to share his latest investment plan with us.
Polite applause erupted throughout the venue. Marcus walked to the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to announce a major decision. Over the past few months, we've seen Reynolds Group go through some difficult times. As responsible market participants, we have decided.
Emma's phone suddenly vibrated, receiving an encrypted message from an unknown number. All evidence is in place, now waiting for you. Marcus continued his speech.
I am honored to announce that we will acquire Reynolds Group at $85 per share. This price is 30% higher than the current market price, showing our confidence in the company's future.
A wave of gasps swept through the audience, and some people started applauding. Emma took a deep breath and stood up.
Mr. Marcus,
Her voice rang clearly throughout the venue.
before you talk about the future, shouldn't you first explain your past?
All eyes in the venue turned to Emma. Marcus's expression showed slight displeasure.
Miss Emma, if this is about personal grudges,
No, this is about market truth.
Emma walked toward the podium.
Let me tell everyone the real story behind this acquisition.
She connected to the venue's display system and brought up the prepared data.
Over the past 6 months, Mr. Marcus has secretly acquired Reynolds stock through multiple offshore companies. These companies' funds came from a massive financial fraud network.
The big screen showed complex fund flow diagrams. Emma continued.
These red lines represent the flow of illegal funds. And these blue dots are the shell companies Marcus set up in the Asian market.
The venue became restless, with many investors taking out their phones to verify the data. Marcus's face turned ashen.
these are all groundless accusations.
Just then, the venue's back doors opened, and Jack walked in with a group of people.
No, these are all verified facts. This is the representative from the East Asian Financial Regulatory Committee.
Jack introduced.
They have already obtained all evidence of Marcus's illegal activities in the Asian market.
Emma continued displaying data.
Marcus used Brad's case as a distraction, but he was actually the mastermind behind the whole plot. This document shows he began planning this scheme a year ago.
Olivia suddenly stood up trying to leave, but was stopped by security personnel. Marcus looked around, finding all escape routes blocked, and finally revealed his true colors.
You think this is enough to stop me?
He sneered.
In this market, rules have always been.
Rules are rules.
A commanding voice rang out as Sarah walked into the venue.
I think the SEC investigation team is already eager to meet you, Marcus.
At dusk, the Reynolds Group headquarters was bustling with activity. Federal investigators came and went. Media reporters waited outside the building, hoping for more revelations. Emma stood in her office, watching the camera flashes flickering outside the window.
The company statement has been released.
Sarah walked into the office.
The board fully supports your actions. Marcus and his accomplices will receive their due punishment.
Emma looked at the news on her phone.
Financial genius exposes shocking conspiracy. Female analyst cracks $1 billion scam. These headlines are even more dramatic than the previous negative news.
That's Wall Street.
Sarah smiled.
They always chase the most explosive stories. However, this time, you truly are the hero.
I was just doing the right thing.
Emma said.
Besides, without your and Jack's help.
Speaking of Jack,
Sarah said meaningfully.
didn't you find his performance today quite extraordinary?
Who is he actually?
That question,
Sarah said.
perhaps you should ask him yourself. He's waiting for you on the rooftop.
When Emma reached the rooftop, the sun was slowly setting between Manhattan skyscrapers. Jack stood alone by the railing, gazing into the distance.
I owe you an explanation
Jack said.
about my real identity.
You're a representative of Asian consortiums?
Not exactly.
Jack turned around.
I'm the founder of a multinational fintech group. We've been searching for innovative technologies that can revolutionize the financial market, and your algorithm is exactly what we need.
So all this.
I initially approached you to learn about your technology,
Jack said frankly.
but later, I discovered your talent goes far beyond that. You have what's most scarce in this market: integrity and courage.
Emma looked at the sunset in the distance.
So what now?
Now, I want to invite you to join us,
Jack said.
not as an employee but as a partner. We can build a fairer, more transparent financial system together.
Just then, Emma received an encrypted message.
The game in the Eastern market has just begun. Are you ready?
Who is this message from?
Jack showed a mysterious smile.
This is from our future challenges. The Asian market is far more complex than you imagine, and we need your help.
Emma looked at the last rays of sunset on the horizon.
So, this isn't the end, but a new beginning?
That's right.
Jack said.
And this time, you're not fighting alone.
For a better future.
Emma said.
For a better future.
Jack responded. In the distance, a plane bound for Asia slowly took off, disappearing into the night sky. This world is far more intricate than anyone imagines, and the real challenge has just begun.